Okay, here we go again. Here is a quick and ugly summary of Beowulf and the fight against Grendel's mother. Now, at the end of the last piece, Grendel had his arm ripped off. And he was wounded and bleeding, and he hobbled his way home, sunk back into the swamp to go and die. And they took his arm and they hung it up in Harrods as a big old trophy to show that Beowulf was awesome and beat the monster. And you think that would be the end of it. But no, because Grendel has an angry, angry mother. And after they did all their rejoicing and partying and drank themselves to sleep, in comes Grendel's mother. Rah! Terrorizing Harrod. Eating everybody. Only eating the people whose names we don't know. So, people like Hrothgar and Beowulf, those guys are still alive. But, alright, but eating a lot of people. Blah, 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 blah. And she found her son's arm hanging in the rafters, reclaimed it, and went home. Blah. So, what are they going to do? What are they going to do about this arm that they had no right to hang on to? Well, they're going to send Beowulf after it. So they track the monster to the edge of the swamp, and they theorize that the monster's lair is somewhere down below in the lake. So Beowulf is going to swim for it. But even though he beat Grendel without a sword, they figure you're going to need a weapon. So let's give him this very special sword called Hrunting. Da 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 da. Hrunting. Hrunting. They go on for a long time talking about how great this sword Hrunting is, how many monsters it's defeated, how great it is in battle, how it's the greatest sword ever, and Beowulf is so lucky to be able to wield it against this monster. So, Hrunting, big deal, right? So he gets the sword, he dives into the deep, he swims and swims and swims and swims and swims and swims and swims. So basically he is underwater for a couple days before he finally gets down to the bottom and finds the cave of the monsters. Because Beowulf is superhuman and reasons. Alright, so Beowulf gets down there, he's got this big old special sword, and the monster catches him by surprise. Fight. And he's got the special sword Hrunting that they spent many lines and pages talking about how great it was, and it is completely useless. Yeah, that's how that works. It's so utterly useless. They made a big old deal about it, and yeah, my tripod is falling down. But no cuts. Alright, so Beowulf is losing against Grendel's mother. Fight. Knock him down, and Beowulf is down for the count. And as it's described by the monks who transcribed this, he is splayed on the ground in a crucifix position, very much like a certain martyr on a certain cross. So that's the religious influence working its way into this much older tale. So Beowulf spread out like this. He reminds us through narration in his head that he always wins because God is on his side. Reasons. So he happens to see nearby, just within reach, another sword, and not the big special sword they spent several pages talking about. No, he finds some other sword that's a giant left there, and he picks it up, and he kills Grendel's mother. sure there was a lot more going on than just a quick old stab, but okay, Beowulf wins. And as he's dragging the sword out and he's killed the monster, he walks by and he sees the body of Grendel laying lifeless. We can assume Grendel is dead, but just to make sure, Beowulf cuts off his head, make sure he stays dead. Otherwise, this whole endless cycle of kill Grendel, Grendel's mother, Grendel gets mad. Okay, they're both dead. So Beowulf wins, swims back to Hrothgar and Herod. Without Hrunting, nobody cares about that. The monsters are dead. Beowulf wins. He is a hero for a long time, and we don't hear from him again for another 50 years.